Hello everyone! Welcome to the Oysape Tips and Tricks channel. Today, I'm going to show you the unique task and pipeline features in Oysape. Why are they unique? Well, let's find out. Before diving into tasks and pipelines, let's look at a special feature in Oysape that's almost tailor-made for keyboard enthusiasts. At the top, there's a search bar. You can click it or just hit Control-P to enter search mode. Type in what you want to search, like servers, tasks, pipelines, or even local files if you've set up a project. I'll cover local projects in another video. For example, if I want to open a server terminal, I can type the server's name or label, hit Enter to select it, and then hit Control-Enter to open it. Let's try it with server 1. Control-P, 1, Enter, then Control-Enter. That's it. Just a few keystrokes, and we open the terminal. What a wonderful feature for keyboard fans. This quick search also works for tasks and pipelines. You just need a few key presses, and there are shortcuts shown for them in the Workspace tab. Alright, let's get into tasks and pipelines, and you'll see how easy it is to trigger them with shortcuts. Starting with tasks, let's create one. Basically, a task is a Linux shell command script. You write the script in the command editor, give it a name, and now you can save the task. The command editor here is powered by CodeBressium, which has an AI auto-completed feature. Say I want to test if a URL is accessible. I just type #test URL accessibility, and the editor will suggest a command. Press Tab to accept it, and you can modify it as needed. Then there's the interaction option. Hovering over the question mark icon will give a quick explanation of each option. In short, upload is for uploading files or directories. Download for downloading. Terminal opens a new terminal to run commands. Interactive keeps input and output in the Workspace tab without opening a new terminal. None runs without opening a terminal or allowing interaction. Then there's a run mode option. If interaction is set to terminal, interactive, or none, you can pick from different run modes. Let's try a few to see the differences. I'll write two commands here, echo hello and echo world. Let's run it in terminal mode. You can hit the Run It button or use the Ctrl+R shortcut. It autosaves, as you can see from the message. One note. Tasks aren't server dependent, meaning they can run on any server. They're more like command snippets in other tools. When you run a task, you'll see the search bar filled in with, quote, task name, showing a list of available servers. Choose one, hit Enter, then Control-Enter to execute. It opens a new terminal window to run the task line by line, as if you're executing each command manually. Let's switch to the batch join option. I'll save it this time, then use the shortcut to run it in. Control-Shift:, type the task name, select it, type the server name, select it, then Control-Enter. You'll see the commands are joined together in one line. This is the join option. Now let's try the batch escape. This time, the commands are executed individually, like pasting a multi-line command into the terminal. Lastly, script mode saves everything as a shell script and runs it. Now for the other interaction options. I'm going to switch run mode back to line by line since I prefer it. With the interactive option, the process displays in the Workspace tab instead of a new terminal window, and the tab title changed to Working on Server 1, which means it's connected to Server 1. You can type commands here just like a terminal, and use Control-D or exit to disconnect. Now let's check out the None option. It runs the task without any interaction. Let's try removing Git, which requires a yes-no confirmation. In interactive mode, I can input N to decline. But with the None option, I can't input anything, so the task just hangs there. If you try to run another interactive task on the same server, it will ask you to wait for the current one to finish. However, terminal tasks are unaffected and can still run. Alright, we've seen all the task run modes in action. These options might seem a little bit unnecessary compared to other tools, but they give us flexibility and more features. For example, the None option lets you allow team members to execute tasks without needing access to the server shell. But how is that useful? Well, Oysape also has a web host version, so team members can connect to the server through Oysape's web host, not directly via SSH. They can run tasks without direct access, keeping your credentials and servers safe. And why include options like upload and download? Besides being convenient, you can incorporate these into pipelines for automated workflows, something you don't usually see in SSH tools. This feature makes Oysape a DevOps and CI/CD tool as well. Now let's look at pipelines. Pipelines are simple. You will set which tasks to run on which servers in a sequence. And that's it. Let's go ahead and run a pipeline. I'll hit Control-Shift!, pick a pipeline, and then Control-Enter. Note that if a task has the terminal interaction option, it'll display output in the Workspace tab instead of a new terminal, keeping things organized in one place. You'll see the execution process in a step-by-step sequence, just like running commands manually. But I just press a few keys, and I can sit back with my coffee while it runs. Finally, if you want to edit the pipeline settings, it's straightforward. Pick the server, then the task for each step. To see details, click the icons on the left. To remove a step, just remove the server of the step. Alright, let's wrap things up by going through a meaningful example of using tasks and pipelines. Let's say I often need to use tools like Docker, Vim, Git, etc. on my servers. I can define these installation commands as tasks. To keep things flexible, I'll create one task specifically for installing Docker and another for installing other tools. Now comes the fun part. I can combine these two tasks into a pipeline called Install Docker and Tools. Since pipelines require a target server, I'll select my new server and include these two tasks in the pipeline. That's it! I can now execute this pipeline to complete all the installation work in one go. One thing to keep in mind is that pipelines are tied to a specific target server. If I get a new server and want to run these installation tasks there, I can't just reuse the pipeline as is, because the target server is different. In this case, I could either manually run the individual tasks, not too bad if there aren't many tasks, or update the pipeline's target server and run it again. So that's all for today. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments. Stay tuned for more Oysape videos. See you next time.